Hello, I'm Michael Quinn, founder of Democratic Right, Ireland's only white nationalist political movement. I just wanted to comment on the recent ban of the burqa in France, which is pretty incredible given the fact that it's such a secular and liberal society, and it probably has the highest population of Muslim immigrants throughout the whole of Europe, so that was really impressive. The Belgians have followed suit in their lower house. They voted unanimously against the burqa ban. Italy now has a ban on the burqa. Even in the States, Canada, Australia, they're considering a ban on the burqa, and many other countries throughout Europe. So it's great to see, particularly the French government, grow up here, because they've been so scared for so long of offending Muslims, you know. So at last maybe Europe's beginning to wake up to the realisation of just, you know, how primitive Islam is, and that is so totally incompatible with Western society, Western Christianity, Western culture, you know. So it's a small step, but it's a great step anyway. I just wanted to look at it in an Irish context. I'll read a little bit from an article I found, and it's from Tuesday, September the 16th, 208, and Al Jazeera, of course, dash Al Qaeda, took up on the story, and I'll just read it now. Arabic news network Al Jazeera has taken an active interest in the plight, emphasise plight, of an Irish girl who wants to wear a religious headscarf to school. The Egan family from Wexford, who were caught up in the row over the wearing of the hijab in Irish schools, have been featured on the Al Jazeera English channel. Liam and his wife Beverly requested that their 14-year-old daughter be allowed to wear the religious headdress to Gorey Community School last September, sparking debate on the issue. Now, this is typical of the Irish government. They're a bunch of gutless wonders. There's not a single man between them, and there's not one of them that has a pair in our government or in the whole political elite. We run and avoid everything. That's the Irish way. Irish politics now today is run and hide and let someone else make the hard decisions. This is why it's so important that we have a white nationalist movement in Ireland, that we can actually start to take these people on and show them up for what they really are, and that's a bunch of damn cowards. Anyway, the government refused to take a stand on the issue, leaving it as a matter for individual schools. Mr. Egan has accused the government of repressing minority rights while flaunting itself the bastion of democracy. The father of the young school girl spoke to the news network and said, "It is time for the world to witness the true face of Ireland. The issue of the Islamic headscarf is a reflection of how Ireland treats its minorities," he said. "It has silently repressed Muslim rights while flaunting itself as the bastion of democracy for far too long." Yeah, well, that's all very well, Mr. Egan. However, you know, are you being persecuted? I'll give you some examples. Last Christmas Eve, a number of Catholics were coming out of a church and were murdered on the street. In Pakistan, Christians are being beheaded; they're being burned alive. Likewise, in Afghanistan, very same thing happening there. In Indonesia, quite recently, 3 young girls who attended a Christian school, a gang of Muslim thugs dragged them into a field and cut their heads off with carving knives. So I think you're slightly exaggerating your plight, as Al Jazeera described it. The reality is that your primitive ways of life, your primitive culture are not welcome. Particularly, we don't welcome them here in Ireland. And if we had our way, we'd deport the whole lot of you, particularly Muslim immigrants. The whole lot of you would be gone. We'd have you on the boats and the planes tomorrow. Now, you either wise up and you live by our laws and our cultures, or otherwise you're not welcome here. But you're not going to hear that from Dáil Éireann. You're not going to hear it from the opposition parties, because they're just too cowardly. They're just too PC. That's the whole thing. It's crippled. That's crippled the whole of Western democracy, as being PC and giving a damn about what the media and everyone else might think of you. Well, we in democratic right don't give a rat's ass what people think of us. The thing is now that we have to do likewise here in this country. Ban the burqa. Tell the Muslims we're no longer accepting their primitive lifestyles. So we're taking a stand against it. And I would ask you, the person viewing this video, get on to your local TD, get on to your local county councillors, ring them, fax them, text them, go to their surgeries and or the clinics and take them on and just say, no, we're not allowing this in Ireland. It's absolutely ridiculous when you walk around Dublin city centre and you see these women in a shroud. You can't even see their eyes. And, you know, where's all the Irish feminists that are out screaming and mouthing out them for women's rights and abortion and all sorts of things? You know, they're very silent here in Ireland at the moment, you know. And the reason is because they're like the politicians. They're just too damn cowardly. They're afraid some friggin' bearded raghead will come some night and murder them in their beds, you know. So there's the bastion, the warriors of the feminist movement. Look, just get on to your TDs, get on to your county councillors, get on to the press, send letters to the editor that we want to ban the burqa in Ireland. And if we legislate on this, those Muslims who refuse to respect the ban, if they're immigrants, well then we deport them immediately. Otherwise, we do likewise what the French are doing now. If a woman breaks the ban, the burqa ban, she's fined €150. The person, more likely than not, either her direct family or her husband, will be fined €15,000 and get a year in prison. We need to do that, but we need to take one step further. If they are immigrants here, if they are Muslim immigrants in Ireland, well then we just deport them. Plain and simple. Let's not waste more taxpayers' money on them by sending them to prison for a year. We just deport them. Now we have to start getting tough with Islam, because Islam is getting dog rough with us all over Europe. They're beginning to become stronger, more powerful, more politically well connected, and it's time all this has to come to a head, and it has to stop. Now we're at the early stages of the Islamisation of Ireland at the moment. You know, we've about 30,000 Muslim immigrants, maybe between 30 and 45, 50,000. It's time for us now to take a stand. Now, if you want to take a stand, join the Democratic Right movement, the only white nationalist political movement in the country. Join us and let's stand against these people. Slán.